how to develop new ways of communication in the interpersonal relationships. In this time where the communications are all through the self, are so non-personal.
Okay. So the thing is, once we start to be real and we start to lose fear, we start to communicate from our hearts. But when we're full of ego, full of image, full of fear, afraid of rejection, we run everything through the computer and we say what we think is appropriate, or we don't say anything because we're afraid of rejection. So really good communication is a consequence of self-love. Because if you don't have judgments with yourself, you have the capacity to share your heart. But if you have judgments with yourself, you're afraid. Afraid to be real, afraid to speak the truth, afraid of abandonment. And we're always calculating everything so that we'll receive approval. Or the opposite. Because we don't love ourselves, we push other people away. So ultimately, everything comes back to the same point. The capacity to be present, to listen, that's one of the most important things, without responding and needing to be right, because we feel attacked or criticized, and to just sit in consciousness. That's one of the hardest things, especially in interpersonal relationships. Those programs of feeling criticized and fighting all the time, in reality, no one can hear anything because all the stress is here. And it's associated with our old programs. We don't even listen. We just reject. So it comes from all those areas. The capacity to listen, to use the facets, to see people afresh in each moment. Because as you change, your perception of what people say changes. You know. So it's just all about internal change. All about internal change. And letting go, being open instead of like this. Yeah? That's I talk in very simple words. You know, everything for me is simple. And the more simple you can become, the more innocent, the more basic, the less complicated everything is. You know, humans are so complicated. And that's what causes all the problems and the communication. You know, another thing that's very important is we have to take responsibility to change. Because we all have these fantasies that the world's going to change. It's not going to change. Hate to break the news. You know, imagine. Well, keep imagining. It doesn't matter. We keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. You know, we finished COVID and we went to war. Yay! Everyone's gone to war now. You know, this is how crazy humans are. So who can change? We can change. We can be the love. We can change our relationships, our communication. And that's what's important. Because that's what defines my life, no? Not what they're doing in Israel. It doesn't define my life. That defines their life. But if you change, That defines your life and what you're giving. Not what they're doing in Russia. What we're doing in this moment, what we're creating. That's what's important.
Come visit our webpage for books, movies, and our wonderful retreat centers. Isha's simple yet powerful system is transforming lives around the world.